Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust.
If you saw our video last week, you'll know that we tried to do a day in the life of Early Retirement Wanderlust skiing, but it ended in a little bit of a disaster when I ended up at Bourg-Saint-Maurice Hospital and I had a chest infection.
So we're going to go again. We're going to bring you along, see if we can do it this time for a day in the life of skiing with Early Retirement Wanderlust.
So it's been over a week since my last little adventure on the mountains, which did not end well. I ended up at Bourg-Saint-Maurice Hospital on an IV drip for antibiotics because I had a bad chest infection in my right lung. So I'm really glad to be back on the mountains. I wasn't allowed to go to altitude for a week, but I'm back.
And I've got my little ski buddy back because it has not been the same coming out on the mountains on my own. So what we're going to do is try and pick up where we left off in our last video. So we just about got to morning coffee break. So we are going to pick you up at our little picnic stop and then hopefully get you through the rest of the day without any issues as part of our day in the life.
And we'll take you to some of our favourite runs and show you some of our favourite parts of the resorts, hopefully. Really good day so far. We've been out for a couple of hours and I am actually feeling really good. In fact, I've enjoyed having a bit of a play in the snow.
And we have just finished our little picnic. Top tip, always picnic late, and it's at our favourite picnic spot,
which is just at the top of the Valandry lift, which is a really nice bubble that comes up from a pretty village. We did have a little bit of a hot chocolate stop just before our picnic stop. Yeah, it's nice up there. It's got an indoor picnic facility, which is great if it's a whiteout or if it's really cold. And then it's also got lots of outdoor picnic areas, so it's a nice place.
It's really state of the art. It even has chargers up there. So yeah, and bizarrely you can buy vending machine blocks of cheese and knives, which maybe that's a French thing, but it's a lovely touch.
It is. So we have got a couple of hours of ski time left and we are going to go back across to Arc 1800, and since so I've been poorly for the last 2 weeks, I think I'm going to treat myself to a drink at the Folie Douche.
That wasn't really on the plans, but here we go. Yeah, just enjoying the blue skies.
So this is another one of our favourite picnic spots. It is right on the edge of the Villandry area, and it's got a carved eagle which you can see behind us, and it's always in the sun, and usually it's quite quiet up here whenever we've come. It has the most amazing views across the valley.
I think the ski resorts are just getting much better at doing this in terms of purpose-built sort of picnic areas. For years we used to come and you used to just be perched on rocks and things like that, but they are just such beautiful places, and at this time of day it's just so quiet and peaceful.
I think this is one of my favourite views. It's got a really gorgeous rock, and it's almost like we're back in Sedona or back in the Grand Canyon. It's that kind of feel to it, and you can see right across to La Plan. You've got Mont Blanc just in the distance that way. It's stunning.
Just such a happy place. So as you can see, we're now back in Nelson after a lovely day's skiing, back with my ski buddy.
It's been a long day. We didn't actually get back till about 6:15. We got one of the last lifts to take us high so we could ski back to Arc 1600. It's really dark outside, but we've had a really nice day. We did get to the folly though.
Yeah, and it was blooming freezing. Not that I'm one to moan, but it was jumping. But it was absolutely brassic. It was one of those days where you could almost feel your beer freezing in the glass.
Well, Richard could feel his beer. I didn't have a drink in the end because I'm still not feeling 100%. But that didn't affect my skiing.
And it also didn't really affect our budget because we haven't really talked about that.
No, we did start off last week when we did our day in the life of Early Retirement Wanderlust, explaining that we have a budget of €30 a day. We actually don't spend it most days, but we've had a nice day on the mountain. We had a coffee and hot chocolate this morning. That was €6.40. We have had, or Richard had, a pint at the Folly, and we did go and pick up some food because we're going out for tea tonight, but we said we'd provide the hot dogs and the hot dog rolls and a pudding. So we spent €14 in the supermarket, so we're under €30 and we'll have had a nice day out.
And best laid plans. Never let it be said that we are not impromptu. I had got planned that I was going to cook something nice for you and show you exactly how we live in a camper van, something mountainy and cheesy and spatzely. And then our good friends Simon and Jill, they obviously know my kryptonite, which is chili dogs.
Yeah, the one mere mention of, do you want to come round and have chili dogs tonight because you've got some leftover chili, that was it. He ditched all attempts of cooking himself.
So, we're going out tonight. Well, yeah, big night out. And with that, it's a wonderful segue. I'm a bit stinky from being on the mountain, so I need a shower. So let's segue into Rate My Shower. Welcome to Camping Utopia in Bourg Saint-Maurice. There are a range of shower cubicles available, with this one being one of the larger family cubicles, but more of that later. In the large cubicle there is a sink and dresser unit for those all-important skincare routines. A welcome addition of a sturdy hook to keep clothes off wet floors. A roomy shower area with a push-button shower. A handy low-lying shelf for shower products. Temperature controls on the simple push-button control. Plenty of hot water with a good length of push for water supply. Disappointing to note a general lack of cleaning, with these areas being uncleaned since our arrival. Looking at a standard cubicle, it's accepted by most customers as tight for space. Hooks, shelves and rails still aplenty, an adequate shower space, but little room left for changing, particularly from cumbersome winter ski gear. Overall strengths are length of push, adequate hot water and the number of showers available. Areas for improvement, cleanliness, space within the cubicles and storage shelves. Overall, a total score of 38 out of 50. But you have to remember it's a busy winter campsite that's well used and we are only paying €31 a night, whereas other ski alpine campsites can be over twice the price and charge extra for electricity. The showers are perfectly adequate for our needs, so no complaints from us. Morning, and we have got another day of skiing lined up. It's just rinse and repeat. We had a lovely night last night, but I have a confession. I went with all the best intentions to our friends for chili dogs to get footage of it, and as per usual, I didn't.
We just completely forgot, but we did have a really lovely evening. But before we go and wrap up this video, we've had a couple of questions about our general van life. One being, what does the van actually look like when we're living in it in general, when we've not tidied it up to do any videoing? So we thought we'd show you a few photos of our general van life. It's not too bad, but obviously it's such a tiny space. Everything does have its place, but it does look cluttered.
There's an element of organised chaos, and that's one of the compromises of being in a small van, and there are loads of advantages. But yeah, so at the front we try and keep the cab for all our skiing stuff, so it's a really good place for hanging jackets on the backs of chairs and storing all of our skiing junk that way. And then we've got, looking further upwards.
Yeah, Richard's made a little bit of a washing line going across, and we've bought some coat hangers, so if we get any of the ski stuff wet we can just hang it up there, which actually it's been pretty good. We've not had any snow, or not much snow this time, and our towels we just hang up there, so it does look like a bit of a bomb site up there, but it is organised chaos.
We do have a system up in the pop top in terms of storing our stuff, so we have a washing bag, we have a bag full of clothes for our evening wear, and then we have a bag full of clothes for our skiing. And that's just dead easy to shove stuff in and get stuff sorted.
And then Richard wanted to give you a bit of an update on his installation that he made. Might have to shut the van door because it is blowing a hoolie outside at the moment.
And that is one of the issues. And actually, I forgot to mention that we haven't got the front cover on at the moment because it was just, as Jackie says, blowing a hoolie last night. So we took the exterior cover off and put our interior blinds, because we didn't want to be woken up in the night with blinds being blown off. And they've worked really well. The insulation in the pop top, again, has been really, really good. We felt it's kept the heat of the heater in. We haven't had too many condensation problems. The only problem at one side is it tends to buckle a little bit, and I think that's because of the sort of prevailing wind coming from that side of the van. So there's a little bit more air coming in, so it just pushes it away. But it seems to have worked all right, and it was like 30 quid to make, so winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, and we've been on the campsite for over 3 weeks now. We've had the pop top up every night. We've been pretty warm. The heater's on for 10 minutes. As Richard said, the insulation seems to keep the heat in once we've made the van toasty warm. We don't have a heater on at night at all, and actually we sleep better in a nice cold van. I think that's because we're used to that from home. We don't have any heating upstairs in the cottage either. We have got an electric radiator, but we never use it.
But it is good in the morning just to plug in the electric heater just for 10 minutes. And because it's such a small van, we affectionately refer to him as a tin can, and a tin can's dead easy to warm up. So that's about it from us.
We have got a bonus video coming out on Tuesday because we did have a little escape when I was feeling really poorly. We went up to Annecy for a night and we did have to move the van because we've had our windscreen replaced, because we did get a quite large crack by the time it was replaced, creeping up our windscreen from a chip that happened just after we got off the ferry in Calais.
But we didn't want to bother you with that, so there is a special video on that, a special a Tuesday video, which is very unlike us, but keep an eye out for that. But we will catch you later, so see you later. Bye.
Bye.